The following was developed by public education agencies in association with the Agency for Instructional Technology, together programming for today's learner. The world's forests, indicated here in green, are a major resource used for meeting human needs. By machete, axe, and fire, the world's forests are disappearing. In 1960, forests covered 1/4 of the world's land surface. In 1980, they covered 1/5. By the year 2000, forests will be reduced to 1/6 of the land. This program will examine the question, why are forests disappearing, by first focusing on Nepal, a country in South Asia. In South Asia, people depend on wood for a variety of purposes, for heating, cooking, building, and industry. The supplies of wood in a region can be renewed or restored by nature, but that takes time. They can also be replenished through the actions of people, through careful use and replanting, if the trees are allowed to grow to maturity before they are cut. But the population of South Asia is growing very quickly. In about 30 years, the current population will double. And as that population grows, the wood resources will be used up faster than they can be replaced. One of the most remote countries on Earth is Nepal, where forests are being used up at an alarming rate by a rapidly growing population. In a small village just outside of Dapche, a young boy, Shankar, brings in the firewood his family needs to cook their food and to heat their home. Shankar's father tells him that they must cut firewood today. Because the forests near their village have already been cut down, Shankar and his father must walk a long way to find the wood they need. Shankar's grandfather awaits their return. He scolds that it is very late. What can we do, the father says. There aren't any trees nearby. The grandfather remembers collecting firewood in an hour. The tender branches of new young trees are also used as fodder for the family's goats. Why is it becoming so difficult for Shankar and his father to find wood? One reason is that a growing farm population is cutting more and more of the forests for fodder and fuel. At the same time, traditional farming patterns are changing. Once, farmers in Nepal only planted crops on the gently sloping hillsides. Now, population pressure has forced them to plant their crops up the steep hillsides where trees once grew. Another reason Shankar and his father are having trouble finding wood is that people in the country are competing with a growing urban population for scarce wood supplies. Like Shankar and his family, these city people also depend on wood for fuel. Wood from all over Nepal is sold in the towns and cities. It is used in small restaurants and tea shops for cooking and heating, along with kerosene. Small industries like this furniture factory use wood for manufacturing their products. While larger manufacturing companies like this one use it to heat their kilns for making bricks. These bricks are used with more wood for building homes, offices, and stores. So many trees are being cut down that when the rainy season comes, there is nothing left to hold the precious soil. And it is washed away. Gullies are left where forests and croplands used to be. Whole hillsides disappear. And the swollen rivers roar south into India and Bangladesh, causing widespread damage each year. Reforestation is one possible solution to the problem of Nepal's shrinking forest resources. Outside of Dapche, people plant fast-growing pine trees. The problem is, reforestation can't keep up with the demand for wood, so substitutes are found. Cow dung is normally used to fertilize the soil, but can be dried on the sides of houses and used for fuel instead of wood. In the cities, kerosene stoves are an alternative to similar wood-burning devices. But kerosene, like wood, is expensive. So people still depend on the forests to meet their never-ending need for fuel. And the forests continue to disappear. You have seen why forests disappear in Nepal. How about in other parts of the world? In some rural parts of Kenya, as in Nepal, people use wood as their major source of fuel for heating and cooking. And like Nepal, the population of Kenya is growing so quickly that the wood is being used up faster than it can be replaced. Here, too, efforts are being made to replenish the wood supply. In some places, farmers are encouraged to grow their own trees to sell instead of destroying the forests. On these tree farms, townspeople are permitted to collect the scraps for firewood. Like the forests of Asia, Africa, and other parts of Central and South America, Brazil's forests are rapidly disappearing. Wood is being used in the paper industry. Trees are being cleared for grazing and for highways. To solve the problem of deforestation, trees are being planted to replace those that have been cut down. In industrial countries like West Germany, fossil fuels are burned to run automobiles, operate factories, and heat homes. The substances produced by burning this fuel combine with water vapor in the air to form an acid that falls with rain or snow. Acid rain is one factor that contributes to the destruction of forests in industrial countries. Now research is being done to better understand acid rain. Factories are also being built that better control the release of pollutants. Making it possible to continue to enjoy and benefit from Germany's forests. In Canada, the forests of British Columbia are being cut for industrial purposes. The wood is used to make roofing shingles, to make paper, and to make the supports for buildings. In British Columbia, they cut out the forests completely and then carefully replant the trees to restock forest resources. In this program, you saw people who depend on wood to meet their needs. You learned why the forests near them are disappearing. How are these people's lives affected by disappearing forests?